In the fading light of a summer evening, the city of Hiroshima slept, unaware of the apocalypse that would soon descend from the heavens. The year was 1945, and the world had already witnessed unspeakable horrors. But nothing could have prepared humanity for what was about to unfold. As dawn broke on August 6, the Enola Gay, a B-29 bomber, cut through the cloudless sky. Its payload, a single bomb named Little Boy, carried the weight of scientific achievement and moral ambiguity. At precisely 8:15 a.m., the bomb was released, and for a brief moment, time stood still. Then, in a blinding flash, the sky ignited. A fireball, brighter than 1,000 suns, erupted over Hiroshima. The very air itself seemed to burn, as temperatures soared to over 5,000 degrees Celsius. In an instant, concrete melted. Shadows were etched into walls, and lives were vaporized. The detonation unleashed winds that howled at over 1,000 kilometers per hour, flattening everything in their path. Buildings crumbled like sandcastles, trees were uprooted, and human beings were tossed about like rag dolls. The city that had stood for centuries was reduced to rubble in mere seconds. As the initial shock subsided, a new horror emerged. Survivors, their skin hanging in tatters, stumbled through the ruins. Many were blinded by the flash, their eyes seared by the intense light. Others bore horrific burns, their bodies twisted and charred beyond recognition. In the hospitals that remained standing, doctors and nurses fought a losing battle against overwhelming odds. With limited resources and no understanding of radiation sickness, they could do little more than offer comfort to the dying. Children cried out for parents who would never answer, while entire families simply ceased to exist. The human toll was staggering. In the immediate aftermath, 70,000 souls perished. By the end of 1945, that number had doubled. But the true cost of the bombing would be measured not just in lives lost, but in the generations of suffering that followed. As news of the bombing reached the world, a mixture of awe and horror swept across nations. The United States hailed it as a necessary evil to end the war, while others questioned the morality of such devastating force. Japan, still reeling from the attack, did not immediately surrender. It would take a second bombing, this time of Nagasaki on August 9th, before the emperor finally conceded defeat. The decision to drop the atomic bomb had not been made lightly. In the final days of World War II, with Germany already defeated, Japan's refusal to surrender posed a daunting challenge. U.S. military estimates suggested that an invasion of the Japanese mainland could result in over 1 million casualties. President Truman, faced with this grim calculus, chose to unleash the most terrible weapon ever conceived. This weapon was the culmination of years of secret research known as the Manhattan Project. Launched in 1939 after Einstein's fateful letter to President Roosevelt, the project employed over 130,000 people working in utmost secrecy. Brilliant minds like J. Robert Oppenheimer and Enrico Fermi labored alongside General Leslie Groves to harness the power of the atom. Their efforts bore fruit on July 16, 1945, in the New Mexico desert. The Trinity test marked the first atomic detonation in history, a moment that would forever change the course of human civilization. As Oppenheimer watched the mushroom cloud rise, he was reminded of a line from Hindu scripture, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." The choice of Hiroshima as the target was deliberate. Its military and industrial importance, combined with its largely untouched landscape, made it an ideal canvas for demonstrating the bomb's awesome power. The goal was not just physical destruction, but a psychological blow so severe that it would force Japan's unconditional surrender. In the aftermath of the blast, survivors faced unimaginable horrors. A black rain fell from the sky, a toxic mixture of radioactive soot and water that poisoned everything it touched. Those who survived the initial blast, known as Hiroshima, would face a lifetime of physical and emotional scars. Many developed cancers and other illnesses years later, a grim reminder of the bomb's lingering effects. The global impact of Hiroshima was immediate and far-reaching. It marked the dawn of the atomic age and the beginning of the Cold War. The Soviet Union, spurred by the United States' demonstration of nuclear might, accelerated its own weapons program. Within decades, the world teetered on the brink of annihilation, as superpowers amassed thousands of nuclear warheads. Yet from the ashes of Hiroshima, a powerful message of peace emerged. The city, rebuilt and reborn, became a symbol of resilience and hope. The Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park, built on Ground Zero, stands as a testament to the human spirit and a warning to future generations. The preserved atomic bomb dome, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of nuclear war. Survivors of the bombing, the Hibakusha, have dedicated their lives to sharing their stories, determined that such horror should never be repeated. Their testimonies, filled with pain and loss, serve as a powerful call for nuclear disarmament and global peace. The bombing of Hiroshima continues to provoke intense debate and soul-searching. Was it a necessary evil that saved lives by hastening the end of the war? Or was it an unconscionable act of mass destruction against a civilian population? Some historians argue that Japan was already seeking ways to surrender, making the bombing unnecessary. These questions persist, challenging us to grapple with the moral implications of our technological capabilities. As we reflect on that fateful August morning, we are confronted with the awesome and terrible power that humanity now wields. The story of Hiroshima serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked scientific advancement and the devastating consequences of war. It reminds us of our shared responsibility to prevent such tragedy from ever occurring again. In the words of those who witnessed the horror firsthand, in the preserved artifacts and haunting photographs, and in the enduring legacy of Hiroshima as a city of peace, we find a powerful testament to human suffering and resilience. The sky that burned on that August morning has become a beacon, calling us to build a world free from the shadow of nuclear annihilation. As we face an uncertain future, the lesson of Hiroshima burns bright. The power to destroy must be balanced by the wisdom to preserve. In the silence of the Peace Memorial Park, in the flame that burns eternal, we are reminded of our common humanity and our shared destiny on this fragile planet. The story of Hiroshima is not just a chapter in history books. It is a living challenge to each of us to work tirelessly for a world of peace.